What's going on, guys? This is Mr. DeLORIan here. Welcome to a brand new video, and welcome to my episode 8 of season 10 of The Walking Dead review and discussion video. Now, like usual with these reviews, I'm going to go over first the things I did like about the episode, and then the things I did not like about the episode. So, without further ado, any distractions, let's hop right into the review. So, the first thing that I did like about this episode was Dante and pretty much everyone involved in his kind of storyline. The Dante backstory and how he got to Alexandria was very interesting in my opinion. I liked how he, his talk with Alpha and everything, especially when he, whispered. I thought that was really cool. Him meeting the group that, got him to Alexandria was very interesting. Just, seeing how, he interacted with, everyone and everything, just, in the beginning and all that type of stuff. The Rosita and Dante scene was really cool, especially their fight. It was just really fucking cool and just, intense. I like seeing, zombified Sadiq and how Rosita had to kill him and everything. And just her face in general, when she realized who it was that she just killed. The interrogation scene between, Dante, Daryl, all of them and everything was really cool. I liked it, but for some reason, there was something just weird about it, in my opinion. The interrogation aspect and everything was very interesting, but it was also kind of weird because, I liked it when Daryl punched him. I've been waiting to see who he punched inside, the season 10 trailer for, a really long time. That was cool, but, I don't know, it didn't seem like everyone was, very, very angry. It kind of seemed like they were just, mediocre angry. I would have liked it better if there was, more punches and anger and everyone was, kicking the shit out of him and everything, or just being more angrily, aggressive towards him when asking questions. Daryl just punched him and said, oh, yeah, I hope that hurt and everything. Everyone was kind of just, questioning him, just, mediocre, even though they just lost, fucking Sadiq, for Christ's sake. But all of it was cool, in my opinion, besides all that. Especially Dante's talk to them. I thought him talking was very interesting. They shouldn't have let him talk considering that, he's a fucking prisoner now and everything that killed someone, a huge friend of theirs. But I thought his talk to him and what he mentioned to them about humans being selfish, I thought that was really cool and interesting. I like how he also mentioned the spikes, the heads on pikes. I thought that was really cool. Also, Aaron's realization that he was a whisper and everything, how Aaron just all of a sudden just was oh my god, he's a whisper and everything. I thought that was very cool too. In Dante's final scene, Gabriel and him inside the cell, Gabriel's talk with Dante inside the cell was actually very interesting and oddly tense because it was building up towards something that was gonna happen. But dude, when Gabriel stabbed Dante and they just started to fight and everything, and Gabriel took him over and just started stabbing him and screaming, it was fucking super cool. And it was also tense and amazing to see, kind of, I guess you could say, a new side to Gabriel, where he, was screaming and super angry and everything. People mention that's kind of, a bit of, a, parallel to, how, Rick killed Gareth and everything, which I could see what they meant or anything. I thought it was actually a very cool callback if they did mean to do it. The next thing that I liked was Michonne, Judith, Luke, Virgil, and Oceanside. I like the horse fights at Oceanside, seeing Judith, Michonne, Luke, and everything. Their talk was all, funny. I find them to be a very good trio, in my opinion, just because they could all kind of bounce off each other and just be really funny and just just sweet to each other and everything. Just, I don't know, just really funny and just fun. When Luke was saved by Virgil, I thought that was really cool and everything and interesting, especially when Virgil just saved him and just left. When Virgil is caught, trying to steal a boat and everything to go somewhere and everything, I thought that was all very interesting and everything. I liked it, especially how everyone was surrounding him and questioning him, and it was just really cool. Also, when Luke tried to vouch for him, I felt it to be very cool and intense. I like the whole Walker invasion and everything. I thought it was cool and fun. Not as massive as I thought it was going to be or anything, but it's cool and fun nonetheless. I liked it when Virgil tried to run and escape and everything from all the walkers thing, but then obviously Judith slices like we saw in the trailer, and how Michonne just came along and it was actually pretty cool. Especially how Judith killed some walkers. But when the fire talk came around and everything, I thought this is when it got really good, their whole storyline. I thought it was kind of funny. I think when Judith was reading one of Virgil's books that he got from the library when he saved Luke and everything, I thought that was really funny, especially when he tried to lunge at her. But when it got really good, in my opinion, is when Michonne and Virgil talked. There was some interrogation at first and everything, which I'll get to later on why I didn't like that. But then it got really interesting and sweet, in my opinion, especially when we got to learn, that Virgil is from a naval base, which is, whoa, and he has supposedly some weapons at his naval base that could be big enough to take out Alpha's herd. And we also get to learn that, he has a family, which is cool that he's trying to get back to. I really liked it when Virgil brought up how Mercy isn't short these days and everything, how, oh, they're probably gonna kill him because no one has Mercy these days, and how Michonne remembered Carl saying on how, Mercy and Wrath. I thought it was sweet how she started, tear up and everything. I didn't like it, though, when how she, brought up Carl was a friend to her and everything. I think it would have been much sweeter, in my opinion, if she brought up, that she would, that Carl was her son, instead of that he was just, a friend. It just would have been much better if she said, oh, my son said this or whatever. I liked how, when Michonne was leaving to go to, the naval base with, Virgil and everything, and how she, had, the talks and everything and goodbyes with everyone. I thought it was all, funny and, everything, especially when she had the talk with, Luke and, Judith Judith and anything with the walkie-talkie. I thought that was like, you know, funny and sweet. I don't know. The next thing I liked was Carol and Daryl. Now, I really did love Carol and Daryl this episode. I think especially when they had their, like, you know, talk after Dante about, like, you know, like when Daryl kind of asked Carol anything about, like, what happened with Lydia and everything, why, like, did you do it and all that type of stuff. The talk they had in the woods before crossing the borders, I think, was probably my favorite moment between Carol and Daryl, like, ever. Like, it was actually a really good moment. It was really sweet and just, like, an amazing scene. Like they just have, like, such amazing chemistry in this episode. It shined really well. Like, they've been good this season and everything. Like, I've liked them, but this was probably, like, my favorite moment, like, ever with them. I loved how Daryl was kind of like, you know, like, you come talk to me, anything if anything's ever wrong and everything, and how they hugged and like how Daryl, like, you know, helped like Carol get through and anything, wiped her tears away. I thought it was just all sweet and amazing. The next thing I liked was the funeral. Now, Sadiq's, like, you know, funeral was actually really sad, but it was also cool. Everyone was there and everything. And I thought Gabriel's speech, you know, like how, like, you know, they were all brothers and how everyone was like together and everything was just really, you know, sweet and cool, considering that, like, you know, Gabriel was probably the closest to Sadiq in my opinion, besides Carl, but obviously he's long gone. I just love the funeral in general. It was a really cool scene. But then the last, or kind of, I guess you say maybe the last thing I liked about this episode was the ending of the episode. It was really fucking cool. So basically, Aaron leads Carol, Daryl, Connie, Jerry, and Kelly to where Gamma said, like, you know, her hoard is, or where Alpha's hoard is. But when you know, when they realized it wasn't there and everything, I really liked that scene specifically. When, like, you know, they arrived, it wasn't there, and how Daryl, like, you know, was in that scene. How he was like to Aaron saying, you know, like, we need to go find Lydia now and everything. We can't trust her. But that was cool how, like, Aaron vouched to, like, you know, Carol and everything for Gamma or Mary, you know, her, like, real name or whatever. I thought that was interesting. When they were walking through the woods and when Carol sees Alpha, like, holy fuck, that's, like, I was on the edge of my seat and everything because it was so interesting and good. Because you knew, and even Daryl knew, and everyone knew in the background, that as soon as Carol saw Alpha, it was fucking over. The chase scene was really cool, in my opinion, with, like, you know, Carol chasing Alpha and, you know, Daryl and the others trailing right behind her. Like, I thought it was super cool and intense. But then the finale of all of this is pretty much when, you know, Alpha runs into a cave and leads all but Daryl and everything into the cave, and you just hear nothing. You might hear some walkers and everything, obviously, because of what's below him, pretty much. But you just hear nothing, and Daryl starts to walk through the, like, you know, the silence and everything of the cave, all dark and everything, which was so tense because you could see Daryl was kind of, you know, a little scared and concerned, like, oh, what the fuck, like, why is no one, like, I don't hear anyone. But when Daryl falls into the hole and everything and onto the rock where everyone, like, gets up and everything and sees the herd, like, that shit was so cool and I loved it so much. Like, everyone's reaction, like, was so good, in my opinion, like, seeing all those fucking walkers, especially that final shot and everything when, like, it just pans over thousands and thousands of walkers, which was, like, so cool because there's a lot in there and they're just all trapped now. And I actually almost forgot and everything. The Carol and Ezekiel talk was, you know, it was kind of cool and everything. It was quick but cool to see the especially, like, you know, talk after all these, like, you know, months. Now moving on to the things I did not like about the episode. The Michonne and Judith thing, there's a certain thing I just don't like about them. It's weird. For some reason, when Judith and Michonne try to act badass and, like, hard and angry and everything, especially at Virgil, it just bothered me for some reason, especially how, like, you know, I don't know, it was just this episode that it bothered me. Like, I just felt, like, annoyed for Virgil because, like, they were threatening to kill him and shit and everything, and he was just trying to get back home to his family. Like, I understand, like, you know, Michonne and Judith's, like, concerned, like, oh, he might be a whisper or anything, but I just felt annoying for some reason. Like, I liked it, but it was also a little annoying. Michonne's exit was kind of odd. Like, it was cool and everything, but it was kind of odd. Like, we just cut from Michonne saying her goodbyes and everything in Oceanside to just her on a boat, all far shots, and just fucking bye. Like, I wish we got to see a close shot of her and Virgil on the boat and everything. Like, maybe, like, you know, Michonne looking back at the beach and, you know, seeing Judith, like, you know, smiling at her and they smile and everything, and just, like, all that and everything. It would have been funny and sweet. Well, not funny and everything, but definitely sweet. And, you know, just, like, it would have been a good send-off. Not, like, you know, her, like, leaving the show and everything, because that part isn't coming for, like, you know, another 5 episodes yet and everything, but it just would have been, like, cool in general to see just, like, you know, just a close shot, at least of Michonne, like, looking back. Like, it was a cool scene and everything, but, you know, I would have preferred a close shot or whatever, because the zoomed out thing just, like, made it hard for me to feel anything with that. And honestly, I almost fucking forgot, can you blame me or whatever, Rosita, Gabriel, and Eugene. I mean, I guess the scene where, like, you know, Rosita was, and, like, Eugene were killing the walkers was cool. Like, I guess his talk to, like, you know, Rosita was cool. Like, Eugene talking to Rosita was somewhat interesting. And honestly, I didn't really care much about these three this episode. Like, I guess Rosita and Gabriel burning Dante's body was cool. I don't know, the plotline wasn't like amazing in my opinion. But yeah, that was the end of my review for episode 8 of season 10 of The Walking Dead, aka the season finale. Like I mentioned this episode, I think there's a lot of things I did like, and this episode was really good in my opinion. It was a really good mid-season finale. I do kind of find it like, you know, a little off that, you know, like we didn't get to see like, you know, the Negan killing Alpha and everything this episode. Like that would have been also a really good addition for like, you know, the mid-season finale. But by that very same token, I am definitely very interested to see where they go with Alpha being alive in the second half. Like I think it looks really cool and everything with her, you know, at Hilltop and that, you know, the season 10 episode 9 or, you know, season 10B trailer. I'm very interested to see where they take that and everything. But yeah, this was a very good episode, especially the ending. Like I said, it was fucking really amazing, intense. Michonne's, like I actually say in quotes, exit was, you know, it was alright. I thought it was, you know, fine. But yeah, make sure to leave down below and everything in the comments what you guys thought was like your favorite moment in this episode, anything, what you guys like about it, what you guys dislike about it. Are you guys excited for season 10B? And yep, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to leave a review if you guys are listening on iTunes. And yep, I see you guys later. Peace, my amigos, and peace out.